Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, the reason you are suffering in your life is because of lack of inward journey. Not able to be part of the inquiry approach. And until you be part of the inquiry approach and figure out the root cause of the problem and eliminate the root altogether, the suffering is going to continue. The fear is going to continue in your life. And if you're saying that you have been part of the inward journey, the inquiry approach, but not able to eliminate the fear, eliminate the struggle, that's simply because you only have gone halfway backward. Halfway backward is about figuring out the root cause of the problem, and after that, you are rearranging the mind and rearranging your action and moving forward from there. Basically, you are planting the seed, new seed around the fear, around the issue. And that planting the new seed itself is coming from the fear itself. So you are planting the seed from the place of fear around the fear. And in the beginning, new seed, new approach may seem work, but eventually you'll end up with the struggle again. That's why we need to eliminate the root altogether before we plant the new seed, before we rearrange ourselves. So that's why it's not working. We know that, inward journey is important, Somehow we're not able to maintain the inward journey. And why is that? Why we are not able to maintain the inward journey? It's simply because of our conditioning. We have a body conditioning, we have a mental conditioning, and conditioning always resurface. Especially notice when you are sitting in a meditation or enjoying, the quiet moment, you eventually get bored, isn't it? Why? Because the conditioning resurface. You getting bored itself is a sign of conditioning. That boredom is triggering you to be part of the fun. And the world outward journey is all fun, isn't it? All sort of fun is in the outward movement, and that's why we listen to the outward movement. We listen to our conditioning, which is simply our preference, The preference comes in, the mental, the ideas resurface in us as fun, and we just give in so easily. And when we listen to the fun and we're being part of the fun, yes, being part of the fun is great, but the fun also, ends, before the new fun come in again, isn't it? And when the fun is ending, we are back to the same, mental struggle of don't want to lose the fun. Even you are being part of the fun all the time. Notice the fun itself gets bored, isn't it? You get bored of the fun as well. And that's why we're seeking, seeking the quiet space, just to be with myself kind of approach comes in. See this? How ego self is so strong that ego self makes you to be part of the fun. And when the fun gets bored, when the fun gets dull, when you are exhausted with the fun, the ego self itself wants you to be part of the spiritual journey, which is, taking care of yourself. But this ego self making you to take care of yourself is always halfway. You know why? Because, the ego self, when you are being part of the inward journey, the ego self will know that, the journey is about giving up the ego. It has to eliminate. The ego self has to die to be free. The ego self, that's why it loves to go halfway. It never go all the way, because the ego self fear to die, fear to, not to exist. Because ego self is about, addition, upgrade, everything except the death. And until we, die in the ego self through the inquiry approach, all the way until there is no mind is left, no ego is left, then we can be free. But the ego self don't want it. That's why until we die in the ego self, the freedom is not there. The mental struggle, the conditioning always resurface, and we listen to it. So, it is important to be part of the inward journey, and not being biased. We have to be thorough. If you're really interested in, living your life fearlessly, conflict free, then you have to be part of it. That's the approach, guys. The reason we are suffering is because we lack inward journey, the introspection. And what makes us not be part of the inward journey is because of our conditioning, right? So, and even we have being part of the inward journey, we're only going halfway. Why? Because ego doesn't want to die. And this is where, when you see that your ego doesn't want to die, ego is the one thing that makes you have fun. When you realize that, and this is where you have come halfway in the spiritual journey. And now to continue the journey and able to see the truth is really working on your fear, fear of letting go. Why? You are so attached to things in your life, and you are attached to so many things. You're not alone in attachment. The whole world is attached to, stuff. So, but if you want to be free, we have to look into it. Anyway, hope this video makes sense to you in some level, and I hope this video is inspiring you to continue your inward journey. And first of all, I hope you are inspiring yourself to be part of the inward journey. No matter how much you hear about the spiritual references, ultimately it comes down to you. Listening to the references is one person. You walking all the way backward to figure out the truth is 99%. And you are the one who's going to lead you there to you, the real you. So keep inspiring, keep doing your work, and your thoroughness will eventually lead you to see the plain sight truth. Okay? Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you're good. Take care for now. Bye.